Hey everybody, this is Rob. I oversee Levitate's core production teams, and I wanted to create a video for potential clients, or if you've already gotten started, existing clients, regarding what we consider important when it comes to video SEO. I'm going to hit a few different points, and I guess before I get started, two things I want to address is what is video SEO and kind of where does it fall in terms of our production process. So video SEO, if you're not familiar with SEO, SEO stands for search engine optimization. Video SEO is search engine optimization specific to video content. And it really, SEO in general is a kind of a compilation of concepts and processes that are designed to help content rank higher in Google and other search platforms, in the case of video, YouTube as well. But essentially, I'm just going to refer to Google most of the time as where people are searching, since that is the big search platform that most people use. But that's essentially what video SEO is. It's does your video rank highly when people search for a topic that is covered in your video. Where does video SEO fall in terms of production? Some video SEO concepts are kind of ingrained in production, really related to the script and the content of the video itself. And then a lot of video SEO optimization occurs after we've delivered a video file to you, and you're ready to go out there and share your video. And I'll speak to that here in just a second. With all of that in mind, I'm just going to go through my bullet points here, or my numbered points, I guess I should say, and talk about what each of these are and how this relates to video SEO. So one of the big things for video SEO and potentially ranking your video is what hosting platform you use. I'm going to speak to everyone watching this mostly from a B2B perspective. And one thing that I like to kind of drop as a caveat is, for B2B purposes, you're probably not creating a Dollar Shave Club viral ad. You're probably creating something that's going to be seen by far fewer people. I'm going to assume in some cases, not always, but Levitate works with a lot of clients where your website may only get 200 hits a month. And that's okay, because you are closing big, giant cloud optimization deals with your clients for like $10 million a piece. So maybe video SEO doesn't matter as much to you because you don't expect for your video to rank really high in Google or on YouTube. But it's still important that all the components are there, in the case that maybe somebody was. The occasional client was looking to learn more about you, or maybe you have a series of 10 training videos related to your product and you want your clients to be able to find those easier without coming straight to you, etc. So there are a lot of situations where video SEO is important, even if you don't have a huge consumer-facing product of some kind where you really need tens of thousands of eyeballs on it on a monthly basis. That relates back to my first point here of hosting platform, in the regard that if you are a B2B company, there are some platforms like Vimeo and Wistia where the video player like that you embed in your website is a little nicer looking, a little sleeker, versus YouTube, which is a little more commercial looking and a little cluttery as well. So that's something to consider when you are uploading your video. And let's say you don't expect 10,000 people to be viewing it every month. You might lean towards a platform where the player itself that you embed into your website or share via email is a little cleaner looking. Alternatively, if you are creating a video and you really do want to get it out there as more of a public-facing video, YouTube is always an option. YouTube offers the most options for like tweaking your video, adding tags, adding overlays, etc. And then also there's Wistia, which is a known video hosting platform for businesses. And one cool thing about Wistia that is not as prevalent in other hosting platforms is that at the end of your video, you can embed a URL to like a landing page, or I believe also like an email capture form where clients who've just watched your video, let's say they've just watched a 60-second video covering your cloud platform solution, they can enter their email so that you can grab it and put it in your mailing list. All right. And one note I have here, Levitate cannot embed a hyperlink eForm into your video that is platform specific. And I noted that above. We do get that question sometimes. So if that is something that you're thinking about wanting to have, you might mention that to us during production, or do a little research yourself as well to see what hosting platforms provide that. Really, Wistia, in my opinion, is the one that you may want to go with if that's something you're interested in. All right, so hosting platform. Oh, and also you can self-host your video. That's that's probably an advanced topic for most people watching this video. So I'm not going to get into it, but there are some benefits to hosting your own video on your own server. But again, yeah, that gets in the weeds a little bit. All right, metadata. What is metadata? Metadata is the descriptive content used to kind of package your video. So it's it's really simple. It's the title of your video, the description of your video, and the keywords that are associated with your video. YouTube, for example, would prompt you to enter tags / keywords and this other information when you're in the process of uploading your video. And really, most hosting platforms will prompt you to enter this information. The reason I have it listed here is what we recommend, and what I recommend is think about what you want the title and description and keywords for your video to be way ahead of time. You should be thinking about this while the script is being written by either you or the Levitate production team. And I won't get into all the specifics of what makes a good title, what makes a good description, how do you select keywords, because that does get into the nitty-gritty of SEO. But I will just hit the more topical aspects of this, and I have another document open here. Generally speaking, slightly longer titles are better, and more descriptive titles are better. So I have a fake video kind of set up over here about machine learning. Let's say you offer a machine learning platform, and that's what you do as a business. So someone going to YouTube or wherever looking for more information about machine learning doesn't want a video that's titled machine learning. And we've seen clients do that, where like your video is about machine learning and the title of your video might be, Acme's machine learning platform. And that doesn't tell me anything. What I care about is how can machine learning improve my manufacturing productivity? Or maybe I want to explore machine learning solutions from Acme because I've heard that they're great. Or maybe I want to optimize my manufacturing, and machine learning is how I'm going to do it. And you can see here, well, I have Machine Inc. as the fake company name. I might include that in my title, but that's not the main point of my title. What I want to do with the title of my video is really catch the viewer's attention. Essentially, it's a marketing tactic. I want to get their attention, and I also want to make something that I want to utilize a title that correlates with what someone might actually search for in YouTube, Google, etc. Description. Typically, what I do when I'm writing a description for the video, one thing to consider, if Levitate's creating a 60-second video for you, that's only 140 words. You can probably go into that script that's been written, or if you wrote it, whoever wrote it, go into the script. You can typically pull a description for your video from the script and make your description pretty similar to the script content, to be completely honest. Also, in your description, especially with YouTube, you can include hyperlinks, you can include links to other pages, other videos, etc. You can, I've seen huge descriptions in YouTube that look like, like white papers. Maybe not go that far, but certainly don't be afraid to create a description for your video that is 2 to 3 paragraphs long, includes a couple of hyperlinks, especially if you're trying to funnel users to a landing page where you're trying to get their email address, or provide more information than the topical video itself could really cover in 60 to 90 seconds or whatever. That's what a description can help you do. And also, again, with title and description and keywords here that I'll touch on in a moment, Google is, all search engines are reviewing those pieces of data, the title, description, etc., and using those pieces of content to rank your video. So that's part of the video SEO part of this. Keywords. You could really get in the weeds with keywords. I'll actually update this when it comes to video, but from a marketing perspective, without doing all the research to see like how many people are actually searching for a keyword on a monthly basis in Google, there are a lot of SEO tools that will allow you to do that. And from a more general perspective, let's say you've never done any SEO of any type previously, what you want to do when it comes to keywords for your video is you want to think about what your product or service does, the features it includes, the benefits it provides versus other providers, because you probably have some competition out there, and then also what problems it solves. I don't think I said that. I might be repeating myself, but those are the things that you want to think about when it comes to keywords. And your script is probably going to have a lot of those keywords in it already. Maybe your website will have a lot of those keywords listed as well. In this case, with machine learning, why would someone be looking for machine learning on Google or YouTube or wherever? Because they want to optimize their manufacturing process. They want industrial optimization. They want to, AI is very buzzworthy right now. They want to look into artificial intelligence. They've heard about the industrial Internet of Things. They're interested in manufacturing process improvement. They've heard of your company, and maybe they're just searching for your company by name, et cetera, et cetera. Manufacturing optimization software. There are a lot of things related to your product or service that people could probably be searching for that is not specific to a single word, so to speak, or a single concept. If you do want to get into the nitty-gritty of keyword optimization, go to Google and type in SEO keyword optimization, and 100 different tools will pop up to show you, how different things rank. Some tools will show you how things rank for advertising purposes. Funny enough, there aren't really any very great tools that show you how videos rank, but or how topics rank from a video perspective. That technology really hasn't been created in a very great way yet. Not the way that general SEO tools have been created. Like keyword search in general, you can go out and you can see how many people per month, or I'll use machine learning as an example again. There are 15 tools out there. There are 100 tools out there where you could type in machine learning, and you could see that 10,000 people every day are searching for machine learning on Google. If you have a more niche product, trying to think of a good one, say AI-driven machine learning or something like that, you can search for those niche concepts and see how those are ranking as well. And yeah, I mean, there's really a rabbit hole there. So again, I'm going to kind of loop back around. What I really encourage people to do is focus on the basics. If you're not familiar with SEO, just think about your products, your product or service, the problems it solves, the benefits of using it, the features it includes, and pull your keywords up out of that content. All right, I'll stop talking about keywords. The next thing on my list is thumbnail creation. So this is an interesting topic. Typically by default, don't quote me on this because things change, but this video is only getting recorded once. Levitate's not creating thumbnails for clients because it is kind of a separate thing. Typically what hosting platforms do for video is they'll just select a screenshot from your video and that becomes your thumbnail. But really, in theory, you could, for the most views, especially if you have a client-facing video or something where you want a lot of people to see it, you want to have like a kind of an exaggerated thumbnail. If any of you watching this use YouTube on a regular basis, or even browse Netflix, you're going to understand the concept that something with a flashy thumbnail preview image is more enticing than something with a boring thumbnail. That's just, again, a very, very basic concept, but it's something people overlook because we have a lot of clients who just don't think about that. Like, oh, I need a thumbnail. Let me see if I have an example pulled up here. Just a second, I'm working on my other screen. Let me see if I can find something from my, okay. So here's my YouTube. You can just see my YouTube. There's some things I watched recently. I'm a nerd, so I like to watch video game videos, and you can see that in like this video here, this first one that pops up in my feed, the title of the video is in the thumbnail. And that's something that you could potentially do as well. Something to consider, definitely. Another one here, another video game critique, and the word critique is on here on the thumbnail, and then a nice, very, very polished, high quality kind of background. It's eye-catching. These videos that my 2-year-old was watching don't count, unless you're making a video about Thomas the Train. So ignore those. Those aren't great examples, but hopefully that concept kind of resonates with you, and go out to YouTube yourself and look around. You will very quickly catch on that people love to use very colorful, splashy, tantalizing thumbnails to drive traffic to their videos. So you should consider doing the same thing. Certainly with the understanding that you don't want to be too flashy because you're probably creating a B2B video in a lot of cases. If it's B2C, go crazy. All right, closed captioning. Closed captioning is the on-screen text that appears while your video is playing. Closed captioning, I'm a huge advocate of closed captioning because it is, it helps someone who's hearing impaired or otherwise impaired that can't watch your video or can't hear, or I should say can't hear your video. It helps them get the message. There are, it's really just, I think it's important. But also, closed captioning by no means is just for impaired viewers and ensuring that you support them. Even though that's incredibly important, it's also for a wide variety of users who just can't listen to the sound on your video. And this is very, very prevalent for social media. If your video's on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, or LinkedIn, there's a pretty good chance that someone's watching it without the sound on. For that reason, you should use closed captioning. And you should use it anyway because for ranking purposes, again, this is a video SEO video, Google is looking to see if YouTube as well is looking to see if your video has closed captioning. and it will rank higher if it does. Uh, a note on closed captioning, there is a kind of standard closed captioning file format. Levitate can help you get started with that process. So just ask your production team, or as production is wrapping up, if it's something this is one of the last things you want to do in production, because the closed captions have to be timed to the video. If the video is not done, you can't set up the timing for the closed captioning. Most platforms also, I will mention, have a kind of automated closed captioning where it will listen to your video and an AI will put in what the closed captioning should probably be, and then someone at your organization can go in and clean it up and save it and approve it, and then the closed captioning will be there. And then final note on closed captioning, for the most part, all platforms are separate. So you're going to have to go in, if you're going to put your video, well, let me say this. I'm not a huge advocate for uploading your video in 15 different spots. But if you are going to do an upload to LinkedIn, you have to use their closed captioning tool. If you do Facebook, you're going to use their closed captioning tool. And then YouTube, Vimeo, etc., you're going to use their closed captioning tool. So it's all separate. You can't really do closed captioning once and have it work everywhere, unless you have an agnostic closed captioning file, which I mentioned earlier, that you typically can't upload to most places. And again, ask your production team if you're curious about that. Transcription. A lot of people don't know the difference between transcription and closed captioning. Transcription is the concept that you include the text from your video alongside your video, not in your video. Typically, transcription is used for interviews and really not explainer videos and the type of videos that Levitate does a lot of, but in some cases it can be used. Typically, transcripts appear below the video. Let's say you have like a landing page where you're driving traffic, and at the top of your landing page is your video. Right under it, you could have the script basically pasted under the video so people can read it. Google likes that as well. Also, you can include the transcript in your description, theoretically, or kind of make your, again, like I said earlier, make your description very, very similar to the script. I don't think I would copy and paste my transcript verbatim into my description of my video, but having it on the same website or within an email marketing campaign or something, that's not a bad idea. All right. Finally, website optimization. This is, of course, specific to if you are embedding your video into your website. If you do that, don't embed multiple videos on the same page. If you do, I remember basically just reading this, expect only the first to have any ramifications for video SEO, because Google will look at the video at the top of your page, and then if you have 5 more under that, Google's going to probably just ignore it. Ignore those, I should say. Also, ensure that the page content is aligned with the video content. So if you have a landing page for people who want to buy blue shoes, don't include a video about red shoes. Well, that's not a great example, but hopefully the concept that I'm trying to get across makes sense. You know, the content of your page needs to match the video. If you do include a transcript of your video underneath the video, I mean, that's a one-to-one match. That's a great way to kind of ensure your web page matches your video content. And that's it as far as video SEO goes. Again, don't hesitate to ask questions about this. The core team can typically answer these, or if you're not doing a core video, I know I mentioned I'm the lead for core. If you were doing a custom video with Levitate or any other video with Levitate, you know, don't be afraid to ask. We can review and provide suggestions, even though, you know, we're not necessarily offering specific video SEO services. There are some things maybe Levitate can do as part of your video or as a supplementary add-on if you ask for them. Most clients don't ask for these things, and part of the reason I think is because clients just aren't aware of all this extra effort and content and support that you can achieve to really set your video up for success. And that's something that, you know, I'm a strong advocate of doing all this, and I want to push that, and I want clients to be aware of it for their sake. You know, we want our clients to succeed. We want their videos to achieve. You know, we want video that you create to be in a place where you know, it serves your purpose. Because one thing we can't do, we can't guarantee that your video. We can create a great video for you, but we can't guarantee the success of your marketing campaigns because we're not part of your organizations. You know, we want to do our piece. We want to support what you're doing and give you every tool possible to kind of go out there and have video success. So that's it. I'm going to end the video here. Hopefully that was useful and helpful, and thanks for watching.